What's going on, beer lovers? Thank you for joining me for another beer review / comparison. It's Beer Monster O'Clock. Right, for today's video, I'm going to be doing a review of Hoegaarden. I forgot to name the beer I'm reviewing. Hoegaarden on the PerfectDraft. See what I make of it. And then I'm going to compare it to a bottle just to see whether I think it's better than just buying it out of the shop in a bottle. Price wise, very similar actually. A lot of people say the PerfectDraft is expensive, but hear me out, right? And I got this cheap as well, and it still works out about the same price. I got 4 bottles of Hoegaarden, 330 mils from Home Bargains for $4.99. So that's cheap for 4 bottles, isn't it? So, you know, 660ml cost you $2.50 going by that price, right? Which is cheap for Hoegaarden. Keg wise, it cost me, I'll write it down, it cost me £26.25 for a keg. But bear in mind, you get a £5 back in beer tokens when you send the keg back, and you get some beer tokens for buying the keg in the first place. It actually works out £1.89 per pint. So you're talking £1.89 per pint on the PerfectDraft versus $2.50 for 660 mils. What one's cheaper? Maybe the PerfectDraft's even cheaper. Now Hoegaarden is 25% off at the minute. But what I'm saying, if you buy a PerfectDraft on a budget, wait for the offers. They've always got offers on all the time, I've noticed. I've not had mine for long, but I only buy them when they're on offer. Be a bit savvy with it, and you know, you can get good deals. And if it's one of your favourite beers on offer, stock up on them while they're cheap. You know what I mean? It makes sense, doesn't it? Anyways, let's get the PerfectDraft one poured. It's a Belgian wit beer, Hoegaarden. It's 4.9% ABV. They've been making this stuff for 600 years. You know, so let's give it a go on the PerfectDraft and see what she's all about. Let me know if you tried it, guys, and let me know in the comments whether you've tried it on the PerfectDraft or just out of a bottle, and whether you enjoy the beer. And perhaps you've tried both, and what do you think's better? There we go. There's your PD version. I must say, I've nailed the pour. What can I say? Looks absolutely fantastic. Now let's get the bottle open. But I am going to just review the PerfectDraft version first before I go in for the comparison sort of thing, you know. I don't want to be influenced, because I just want to get a separate thing, you know. Review the Hoegaarden on the PerfectDraft, then is it better than the bottle at the end sort of thing, you know. Right, with the wit beer, pour it most of it out till you got maybe about a quarter of a bottle left. Give it a swirl, because you want to pick the yeast up off the bottom of the bottle. Most people are going to know this, but some people don't. Give it a swirl, get all that yeast, and then pour the final bit in. There we go. And you notice with the kegs on the, like I noticed with the Franciscaner, which I reviewed the other day, as the keg gets down, it starts getting more, I said it was a bit thin, the body actually does thicken up a bit as you get towards the bottom, because that's where all the yeast is, and it also tastes better. It's particularly that last pint really did make me nipples hard, because it was just full of yeast. It had the like lava lamp effect thing. It was absolutely fantastic, the last pint. Right. Beers in the glasses, comparison wise, you know, I'm going to say they are very, very similar. I think the PerfectDraft one is perhaps just slightly, very, very slightly darker, but you know, there's nothing really in it. The heads are about the same size. They're nice, really piercingly white heads, both really compact bubbles. Both look great. I would say that the carbonation is roughly the same. The bubbles are definitely bigger. It's going to be hard to show you this on camera, because obviously it's a haze. They're both hazy beers. Well, they're the same beer, aren't they? So, you know, they're very hazy. But I can see, as I hold it up to my light, carbonation is about equal, but the PerfectDraft bubbles are tiny, whereas the ones from the bottle are large bubbles. They do say the smaller the bubble, the better the quality. So that's obviously where it's a draft version, you're getting the smaller bubbles. Anyway, let's check out the aromas. I'm expecting they're going to smell pretty much the same, but we'll see if we get any differences in the aroma. And then I'll go ahead and review the keg version. Oh, banana, really ripe bananas with this one. Citrus, like subtle citrus, but really smells really refreshing, you know. It smells like a nice summer sort of wheat beer, you know. Slightly herbal notes as well. That citrus smells a bit lemony actually. I mean, I think it's pretty sure it's orange, but it smells like lemon to me. Perhaps a zest of an orange. See if this one smells the same. Well, I mean, to be fair, the beer's a bit lower down in the glass with this one. It smells very, very similar. Still getting the banana. Nice ripe banana. It actually doesn't smell the same. I mean, there's not a lot in it. I would say that the PerfectDraft version smells slightly more citrusy and just fresher. Yeah, it's just got more of a citrus kick and maybe even a hint of spice. Going back to it, which I'm not detecting on the bottle version. But to be fair, there's not a lot in it. They both smell really nice, equally nice to be fair. That one's a little bit more citrusy. That might not be a good thing for some people, but that's what I'm detecting. Anyway, we'll move that to one side. I'll go ahead, review the PerfectDraft version, and then we'll see overall, is it worth a buy? I mean, either way, it's, you know, even if they taste exactly the same, at that price, it's only £6 a keg at the minute, bearing everything in mind that you get back. You know, it's a good deal, isn't it? Right, cheers everybody. Bash. Oh, I mean, it's no secret for me anyway that I prefer Franziskaner Weiss beer to Hoegaarden as far as the wheat beers you can get on the keg, you know. But you know what? Obviously, I won't know until I go back to that. Perhaps I'm just really in the mood for a beer. But that's hitting a spot at the minute, actually. It really is. It's not as flavoursome as the Frankie. Quite gentle feel to the carbonation, low to medium carbonation feel. But it's really refreshing, much like the Frankie. Very subtle flavours, different kind of flavours than the Frankie. I feel like it's more flavoursome from memory than the bottle. But I won't know until I go in there. I've not had Hoegaarden for a while from a bottle, so. Oh yeah, that's actually really hitting the spot. I'm not gonna lie, I had a pint of it last night and I was a bit, maybe we're settled overnight. It's improved it. I mean, body-wise, quite light-bodied, light to medium at best. But it's really refreshing actually. It really is very refreshing. On a hot day, this is gonna hit the spot big time. You've got subtle flavours, but really nice. They work. It's definitely not the most flavoursome wheat beer out there, but I enjoy it. I think it's nice. Let's think about the sort of flavours we can get. Oh, that is hitting the spot. It really is, compared to last night, as I say. Initially, I'm getting like a sweet bready malt. It could just be partly the first pint of the day effect. I don't know. Because I don't know. That's just really it's really tasting good today. Sweet bready malts for me. Then you get him subtle herbal notes in the background. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's coriander because that's what they are normally are with the Belgian wheat beers. But can I tell by the taste that it's coriander, if I'm being honest? Not massively, no. It's just like a herbal note that's nice, very, very nice actually. And it blends with like a nice hit of citrus, more than I can remember getting when I've had it in the past. On the end, like a lemon and orange zest combination of citrus. And it's really good actually. It's really hitting the spot more than I remembered. I mean, I still would pick Frankie over it, but the gap's a little bit closer than last time I tried, I suppose. I don't know, perhaps it's the keg version that's doing that. Little touch of spice. I'm enjoying it. Well, I give Frankie, I gave Frankie a 9.5 on the PD. This is not better than Frankie, in my personal opinion. But is it even more refreshing than Frankie? I don't know. It's certainly more palatable in a sense of like drinking high quantity of it. I think this is probably more sessionable. I mean, they're about the same ABV, 4.9 compared to 5 ABV of Frankie. I don't know. At the end of the day, you drink the same thing all the time, you get a bit sick of it. It's nice to have options out there. And I probably will buy more Frankie than Hoegaarden, but I do think every now and again, especially if it's on offer and I can get it for like quite a bit cheaper than the Frankie, then I'd buy this again. I really would. I'm gonna go for an 8.8 out of 10. That surprised me because, I mean, you go into these reviews with a certain expectation. Having tried Hoegaarden before, I think I was thinking I would give it an 8. So that's almost gained a whole extra mark, whether it's because it's a perfect draft, whether it's because the weather's hot, I don't know. But at this moment in time, 8.8 out of 10 for me. It surprised me. Decent. Anyway, is it because it's on the perfect draft, or perhaps Hoegaarden's growing on me? Or, you know, let's try the bottle one, find out if it's better. Cheers, everybody. Bash. Both, obviously, wheat beer glasses, but not the correct glassware. I ain't got Hoegaarden glasses. Oh, you know what? They taste quite different, actually. And I think that's why I've gave it the higher mark. Because I'm definitely not enjoying it out of the bottle as much as on the PD. That's for sure. It's just tastes different. It's just figuring out how it tastes different. It's so much more easy drinking on the PD. I think it's just the draft body, but certain beers that's going to make more difference with than others, and with this one it makes a huge difference for me. But oddly, and you may get it, the bottle version, has it got more body perhaps? I don't know, it's just got a slightly, it's just not hitting the spot, nowhere near like the keg version. The keg version is noticeably more citrusy. Definitely, that's the main thing. It feels like it's got less body, but it feels more refreshing and much more citrusy and flavoursome, just in general. This has got, I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but there's just something about it. I mean, they taste the same temperature and all that. I don't know, there's like a slightly kind of funky aftertaste to it, maybe. almost like that sort of taste you get with carbonated water or something. I don't know, there's just a slight, not off, but just comparing it to that, it's off, if you know what I mean. Comparing it to the Perfect Draft version, it's so hard to say why, but that tastes so much better on a Perfect Draft. I think them small bubbles are just making the flavours kick off better. The citrus is way more noticeable. It's just a little funky. I don't know if there's a sourness about this one or there's just something different about it. I can't put my finger, I can't think of the right words to explain what it is, but at the end of the day, I think the Perfect Draft one's a lot better actually. And I was saying about going into it thinking about an 8 out of 10. Well, I'm actually going to give it, out of the bottle, a 7.5. I just really do think this really showcases what the Perfect Draft can do. And I'm not even exactly sure why. But it's so much more citrusy and refreshing, and like just the whole vibe of this Perfect Draft version is perfect on a summer day, whereas this one's just kind of a bit, it's alright, it's alright, it's just a bit, doesn't taste as fresh. I think that's a key factor actually. I think that's a word I'm looking for. It just doesn't taste as fresh, and all the fruits, the citrus fruits in this taste really fresh, and they're more punchy, more pronounced, whereas it tastes like they've been sitting about for a bit in the bottle, which obviously I guess they have. I don't know. It's an odd one. You know, I feel like I just can't put my fingers on why. But night and day for me. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this little comparison and that. And check out my pickled eggs. I've got to mention about them. I'm trying for the first time to make some pickled eggs for a bar snack, or sort of snack for the lives. I've got to wait a couple of weeks. I've got some sort of pickling bits and bobs in there. A couple of chilies. I was going to put more chilies in it, but I tried one of the chilies and it literally, my mouth and my lips were burning for about half an hour, and I took the tiniest bite. So I thought, yeah, I'll cut up quite a few chilies initially to put in there, but I thought I'm not going to be able to eat them because the pickling spice has already got chilies in it as well, peppercorns and coriander seeds and whatnot. Anyway, let me know, do you like a pickled egg as a beer snack? I like a pickled egg, but I don't know if I'm going to like my pickled eggs. Why am I talking about pickled eggs? A little added bonus on the end, I suppose. Yeah, also, I want to pickle some more stuff. What else is good pickled, guys? If you've made it this far for some reason, what else do you recommend me pickling? So I've got another jar and plenty more vinegar and seasoning and that. What else should I pickle? Thinking about mini gherkins, but I don't know. Till the next one, people. Smash the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. And bye-bye, darlings. Bye.